Hey, this is Jeff. I'm the stupid idiot that bought this house. Dealing with, I don't know, I think we got 4 inches of rain in a short amount of time today, and the shop is flooded again, and the crawl space is flooded. So I've got a few video clips here to show what we're doing to deal with it, and I hope you enjoy it. I'm not. And after probably an hour, it's still going. We got thousands of gallons under here. Well, this is at about 1/3 speed because it was sucking too fast and kept grabbing the plastic, but this is the 3rd volume, and it's been for at least an hour. So this has been running for over an hour. We have pumped thousands of gallons out from under the house. And there's still more under there. The seller we bought the house from, the liar, Natalie. Oh yeah, there's no leaks in the shop, which by the way is under an inch or 2 of water right now. And no, we don't get any water under the house. Well, that's not true, now is it? So it's probably going to be pretty hard to hear me, but interesting phenomenon. Now that the water level here has gotten low enough, if you will, all the water across the crawl space is now draining to here, which I guess is the low spot. So this has been pumping at least an hour, probably longer, and there's still lots of water to get out, but it's got to be done. And once again, another plug to Harbor Freight for this pump setup, which has worked phenomenal yet again. And we've had this pump for probably close to 10 years, and it always starts on 2 or 3 pulls, and this does a great job. Thank you, Harbor Freight. And yet another new project. So anyway, after the crawl space flooded with probably 10,000 gallons of water, I mean it's like one giant pool under here. The plastic had swelled up anywhere from 3 to 6 inches across. If you can see, the dehumidifier base is wet, so the water got up to the base of that wood. So an awful lot of water. And I just ordered a new sump pump and basin. I got to get some gravel and such, but while the clay here is still wet, I'm going to go ahead and dig the hole and then wait for Saturday when it's supposed to come, thanks to my friends at Amazon. So more to follow. Alright, well, we've got a hole started. I'm going to have to get under the house with the little shovel and hand dig probably for a couple hours to get through the next layer deep enough for the basin for the sump pump, but that's coming along. All right, there's a storm coming tomorrow, so I'm trying to get what I can done. This is the new basin for the sump pump. I purchased the one with the holes, the perforations already, not there. There's a rock and the screen that we're going to put around the basin, new sump pump. But because we've got rain coming, I decided I better go ahead and drill the exit hole, if you will, for the water line that's going to come out. This is the spot I picked. I got this hole saw for tile, brick, and such, but you know, unfortunately the wall is about that long, but the bit is only that long. So what I've been doing is I cut until it jams and I dump it out, and I cut until it jams. Now I think I've hit wood, and this thing doesn't want to go through for whatever reason, so I'm going to have to put an extension on it and try to get in there and get this wrapped up before the rain comes in, so that way I can work under the house and in the garage without getting all wet tomorrow. We have a storm coming, and it is blowing hard today. However, it's time to pull the car out and get the sump pump project finished, so don't ever have to do that again. So here we go. Take a look at me before I get filthy, muddy, and everything else. Boy, it's really blowing good. I'm supposed to get an inch today, tomorrow. Not too bad really, but it is time to get the projects done. So here we go. Okay, sump pump project start up here today, or at least wrap up. These are all the things we're going to be using, and then some. A couple of buckets of 3/4 inch rock. We got some fabric for the bottom. Of course, I ordered on Amazon this sump pump basin perforated. It's not, so we're going to drill holes in that. And then I already used this. And if you think I'm kidding when I say I needed all of that to get through the foundation, I did. And I had to cut a section, bust it out, cut a section, bust it out, cut a section, bust it out. But when all was said and done, the pipe is in. We'll cut it after the sealant sets and put a angle down on it so I don't have a jet coming out here. But time to get under the house. Just a little ad here. Every sump pump should have a check valve, and basically this allows the water to be pushed out but doesn't let it come back in, because if you don't do that, what'll happen is all of the hose that's above the sump pump, all of that water, as soon as the pump drains down low enough and turns off, all that water flows back in and potentially sets the float off again, you know, raising this up, and it comes back on, and then it shuts off and the water comes back in. This could go on endlessly. So anyways, the check valve right there will stop the water from flowing back in and burning out your pump. And then we've got the hose here, 24 feet. Drilled out the hole here. Good. So anyways, that's going to go through there, and hopefully there'll be just enough room for the extension of the power cord to come out as well. And off to the next part. Well, we finally got through the foundation, and there is a whole bunch of 3M sealant all around the pipe there. Got a nice little cap on there, cleaned it up a little bit. This is probably too long. I'm going to put an angle piece here to push it down, but I'll do that after the sealant has cured and figure out how long and how far we want it to come out. But that's the end of this piece, so now I can just work under the house. Okay, there's the pit, and as you can see, the hole is way bigger and deeper than it needs to be. The hose will be coming out of the top, but we actually want to target this being just about level with the soil, just below it, so that it'll come through the lid as well as all the holes that we now have in it, because I drilled them. Thanks, Amazon. Anyway, time to put a base of big rock and such, and then we're going to put a screen on the bottom just so that it doesn't suck in silt directly from the bottom, though it really shouldn't, so might be a waste of time, extra steps. Well, after experimenting with several landscaping fabrics, the first thing that struck me was the water did not penetrate very easily, so permeability, fail. And then we tried a different type of landscaping, something you use like weed control for gardens and such, and that also had a tendency, with a little bit of dirt on there, it plugged. And so our thought was that what's going to happen is, as soon as we try to wrap any of this base and it gets some mud on there, the water's not going to flow. So actually went with window screen. I mean, it's, you know, exposed to the elements year round, and they last for years and years. So I thought, well, why not do that? So anyways, it's attached with the good Gorilla tape, taking care not to plug the holes on the bottom, though it really won't matter. And then, as you can see through here, the holes are just fine. So this should work pretty well. The rock is in the hole. The level's just about right. Going to add a little bit more rock, and then we'll install the sump pump and start the next phase. While it was probably unnecessary, the check valve was installed with about 10 wraps of Teflon tape. Oh, you can see a little sticking out there. And then the power cord and the hose is drilled through the lid and ready to go, so that when I drop it in, I don't have to try to tighten everything after it's down in the hole. By the way, I did go ahead and test the pump. They say 100% guaranteed from the factory, but I went ahead and checked it anyways, and it is working absolutely fine. So we're going to now drop it in the hole so that the bucket doesn't keep moving, and then continue to put more rock around it. Okay, 3 more loads of rock. The sump pump is in. By the way, I taped that rag in there so that as I'm pouring the rock in, it's not going in the holes of the sump pump in the lid, because they're pretty good size, and we don't want any rocks swimming around with the impeller on the pump hitting it and breaking everything. So anyways, I'm going to finish up this rock here and then get a hose and run all the clamps. What we're going to do, by the way, is bring this hose way up here to the top before we start the attachments, so that when the pump is running and it does shut off, only a small section of hose could potentially leak past the check valve. The rest will flow downhill outside into the driveway. All right, the rocks are packed down, shovel and stomping, and I do have to do some plastic cleanup later to get all of this tucked back down correctly. Unfortunately, my sealing tape for the encapsulation is missing. I think it's somewhere over there, or maybe over there, or over there, but it's not here and I can't find it. It's not in the shop, so gonna move on to the hose now, start that process of getting that clamped up, and then run out to the exit pipe, which is over there and needs to be trimmed. Getting closer. Rain's coming in 4 hours. All right, the hose is now installed all the way down. It goes to the drain. You can't really see from here, but It does. Now I just need to get the shop vac in here and clean all this up. Okay, time for the test. Now the funny thing is, the storm's supposed to come in at 6 p.m. However, it's already here. And it's blowing 30 miles an hour. And I'm not sure I'm ready. But we're gonna turn the water on. Let's see what happens. I guess I better, let's go in here and make sure the water's not going someplace crazy. It's not doing anything. There must be a kink in the hose. I'll be back. All right, the sump pump's installed. It works. And I cleaned up all the mud and dirt. I actually glued the plastic down. Cleaned all this up, so we should be good. This will have to be edited because the water's been running for a while. That hole that we dug, it's pretty big. And yet, there it goes. And I guess that was it. Well, it should come back on again as soon as that hole fills up enough. La la la. Well, it doesn't take long to empty that sump. All right, we're gonna turn this off, call this project complete, and go close up the shop before the storm hits. That's a stupid idiot signing off. In case you don't see me again until it starts raining, there is another part to this, and that will be putting dye in the gutters on the side of the house and going under the house with a UV light to see where the leaks are coming in. Another fun day.